Guys, welcome back to the Unfiltered Convos, and today we'll be recapping Vanderpump Rules. And I'm not gonna lie, last night episode was so chaotic. Like there was a lot of emotions, especially coming from Sheena, and with her and Sandoval. But yeah, I wasn't not expecting the episode to be like that in a good way. But yeah, we're gonna get into it right now. So we started off the episode where it showed where we had Sheena and Lala, they were in the room. And then Sheena then says that of course she is not expecting, she's not gonna be, welcoming in Tom Sandoval with open arms. So it's not their trip. So if it was their trip, they would not have actually had him on the trip. But it's Schwartz who invited everybody, and he's friends with Sandoval, and the, she was pretty much feeling like conflicted because she had a friendship with Sandoval, and now she's, I guess, the heat of the moment is somewhat dying down. So now she's realizing that she kind of misses her friend, and the fact that she's now in a hard place because Ariana has already stated that if anybody around her decides to be friends with him, she wouldn't want that person in her circle. Rightfully so. She did state that she's not dictating to anybody who to be friends with or not, but she doesn't think where she would have anybody around in their circle because of, she's trying to keep boundaries and so forth. Then Sheena also then stated in the same scene that Sandoval during the pandemic, when she had no income or anything like that, because you remember the pandemic, everything was shut down, like nobody was really working, nothing was going on. And then her podcast as well, she said that got canceled. So apparently Sandoval sent her some money in her PayPal account, and to her it's like already seeing this guy as a friend, and then the fact that there's no income or anything like that, and he was willing to assist her. So it's like you have people in life that does stuff that are so horrible, and it's like you sit and you question like the friendship you had with this person, and you wonder to yourself like, was it just me you were cool with, or was it a situation where you are overly not, like you're overly just a bad person. But I guess for her, it's like she is like feeling torn. We had Lala was trying to comfort her in the situation because as we see, Lala is pretty much whatever Lala wants to do. It doesn't seem like Lala is necessarily picking a side. Not saying that she's going to befriend Sandoval, but you can see that she's not so invested in what Ariana might think if I decide to have a conversation with him. The next scene we saw where Ariana, we know that she has a cocktail book called Single AF Cocktails, and she came out with basically we saw the behind the scenes of the shoot that she did for the cocktails. So we already saw the cover of the book when she posted it on social media, but we saw the behind the scenes of the cocktails, and she was going through the list of cocktails with Katie, and I'm not sure if the book is out as yet, but I'm wondering if it's even doing good, because I remember when it was announced that she was doing this book, everybody was excited for her because the first book that she did, that Sandoval pretty much jumped on it when it was not necessarily his idea. So I wonder if the book has came out as ready and if it's actually doing good. The next scene, which was the scene that was very emotional, which was the meditation. Then they were sitting like in a somewhat semicircle, and then at one point, then that's when the the person who was dealing in charge of the meditation, she decided to have each person face each other's back, and at that moment I could see on Sheena's face like, oh my god, like what did I do? Like, what? She doesn't know what to do. Her face is so confused. She's already feeling like I'm gonna have to be facing back to back with this dude. Then Brock decided to join the scene, and he decided to go sit with James and Ellie. And although Sheena was telling him to come sit there, he was like, no, that's okay, I'll sit over here. Because in his mind, he's saying that they need to work through whatever issues they have. And Sheena, I feel your pain, because I can imagine if you have this hatred towards this dude and it's like you have to now face him back to back, where everybody else is facing persons who they are cool with. But of all the persons that everybody is having this big beef with, and the fact that whenever you're close to this dude, it always comes around as if like you're two-faced or you're fake. So for you to now be in a scene where you have to do this with him, I can imagine how it must have felt. But at one point, it was too much for her. She stormed off and stated that she still hates him. But then Brock went to comfort her, and she was saying to Brock, like, I asked you to sit with me. How could you, whatever, whatever. And then she was saying to her that, the whole point of this session was for persons to work through their anger, work through whatever issues they have. So that's the reason why he didn't join. I personally think that the producers probably told him that to let it be Sandoval and Sheena do not join her, because I don't see where you would see your wife says to come over here and you're like, no, it's okay, I'm going to stay over here. So it seemed to me a bit produced, but the emotions were raw and it seemed very heated. We then saw where Sheena, the person have them do this face to face now, and to imagine like you, if this is the last time you'll be seeing the person in front of you. And I'm sure that as well must play it in her mind, because you remember Lisa had a conversation with her and Lala regarding that his mental health and stuff. So for them to sit in front of him, and this is pretty much what is the question that is proposed. It's like I can just imagine that raw emotion of feeling that basically. Sandoval says he gets sad thinking that if it's the last day he'll be seeing Sheena, because to him he really had a good friendship with Sheena, so he did not want to, imagine saying that this is the last time he would have probably seen her or anything like that. Sheena then says that after the scene ended, she said something like, I guess that his mask fell off. She finally saw his soul inside, like a little peek of his soul, and that she can see that her friend misses her. And I know she misses him, but at the same time, this is the same dude when everything went down said that he wasn't really that close to you, or he didn't really consider your friend like that. And Rachel did the same as well. So I would not be so quickly easy to just forgive or think that there's a soul inside pretty much, or he misses the friendship. We have the next scene where we saw Ariana and Katie. They were meeting up, and we saw where Ariana says that if anyone decides to be friends again with Sandoval, she don't think she would be their friend. And then, of course, we got an update on Katie on the date that she went with the bandmate from Sheena's band. Said that it didn't went well. She doesn't want to pretty much invest herself into someone where it feels like another project. So she kind of just doesn't think that she's going to work. Then we have the next scene where they went on a gondola lift. And then we saw where Schwartz says that it was nice reconnecting with Lala during meditation. And at the same time, this is where we had where they were bringing up what happened, and then Sandoval decides to say that he says that Sheena has been diagnosed with OCD, and now it makes sense because she's zoned in so much on Sandoval when it was going down. And I don't know, to me that rubbed me the wrong way how he structured the sentence or structured the statement. It seemed to me like you are still trying to push blame on someone for your mishap, and the fact that yes, persons profited off of it, maybe you did not get enough profit off of it, so you're jealous about what happened. So he keeps trying to still reiterate of how these persons pretty much zoned in or honed in on what went down. And at this point, I don't see why you keep doing it. Everybody pretty much do it. Even persons who were not involved with the show or anything. Every content creator pretty much were zoned in on this situation. So I don't see why the blame is solely put on Lala and Sheena. Sandoval then decides to blame everyone and doesn't want to take accountability. Brock decided to step in now because now you're disrespecting his wife. And he then says that he tells Sandoval, like, at the end of the day, your team was the one who was also pushing rumors that he slept with Rachel. And remember, those rumors were out there after everything came down, was that Brock as well was doing something with Rachel. And then they, I guess, did their investigations and found out, allegedly, that it was from Sandoval's team who were the ones who were pushing that story to say that Brock did something with Rachel. So they have their own trauma or their own issues with how everything went down as well. Sandoval then also says he isn't trying to discount anyone's feelings, but you're saying you don't want to discount anyone's feelings, but you're pretty much doing that each time you're around these people. Each time they bring up something, or it's for you now to have the floor and apologize or take accountability, it's like you're throwing it in their faces as if like they did something wrong and you're innocent, and then you keep saying that you're not discounting person's feelings, but pretty much that is what you're doing. He says he was touring because he had no money. I won't even get into that because I don't know how you touring made you money, because as far as I'm concerned, you were paying your bandmates and everything like that out of pocket, and you're still in financial crisis. So made that make sense. Sheena is also upset as well because remember that group photo that got leaked where they took a picture with a fan because I guess it was their birthday, and because she was standing close to Sandoval and her hands were somewhat around him. Persons now were running with it that she's fake and she's pretty much cool with Sandoval already and everything like that. So now, she's taking it to heart because, Sheena, she's very emotional. So she's taking it to heart about persons basically zoned in on the picture, and yeah. We then have the next scene where we saw Katie and Ariana. They met up with their chef consultant. They were doing some interviews for chefs for the sandwich shop. Sheena then decides to call Ariana, and in that scene, that's where we got the scene where Sheena was just basically expressing herself to Ariana, but Katie was there as well regarding how she feels regarding the meditation that happened earlier and her feelings that she's having, where she feels like she also, she got a genuine apology from him, and then at the same time she doesn't want to keep being mad at Sandoval for her. And Ariana was not having it. Ariana was like, girl, I don't know what you want me to say. Rightfully so. I get where Ariana could have acknowledged Sheena's feelings, but at the same time, I don't see, if someone did something so bad to me, I would not want someone coming to me to tell me that this person has apologized and I feel like I want to be friends with them again and stuff. Like, I don't want to hear that right now. Like, 3 months in, like, yeah, I don't want to hear that right now. So I don't know what exactly Sheena really was expecting back from Ariana, but at the same time, we can't. It's like the same two sides. Like, one side, yes, Ariana could acknowledge Sheena's feelings as a friend to Sheena, but at the same time, like, Sheena, you can't expect her to be all into or invested into what you're saying, because yeah, this is someone that really did something drastic to her. Like, yes, she is doing her own thing now, but it could have been a different situation. We know Ariana suffered with mental health. Like, this situation could have actually spiraled her into something way more serious. So I don't exactly know what Sheena is expecting from Ariana. Maybe she needs a different audience to share that with, but I don't think Ariana is the right audience to be telling her that you feel like you want to be back friends with this dude. You don't want to be best friends with him, but you feel like you don't want to be mad with him consistently. Like, I don't know. Katie then also says that it sounds like Sheena also misses their friendship and also wears her head at, because she's also have the same sentiment, saying that this was the same dude that was telling you that your friendship was not real. So how all of a sudden now you're saying that you missed the friendship, etc. The following scene then we had, we're on the boats with the group, and this is where we got Lala and Sandoval that went into their heated, and I mean heated, arguments. And it was so heated, but at the same time so entertaining for me. Like, this dude, for the life of me, will take 2 steps forward, and then in a split of second, he takes like 5 steps backward. And I'm like, you're here sitting saying that this felt good. Persons are treating you, are being cordial with you. And then you're here on the boat now, and All Lala is asking for you is some sort of apology because you're saying that she's not being real or not sharing anything when you were holding a whole month's affair. So all she wanted was some apology or some acknowledgement or something. But no, typical Sandoval, he has to throw it in everyone's face about what they did, how many years ago, how many decades ago. And it just started this back and forth with him and Lala, and it just went on and on and on. Sheena had to involve herself to pretty much let him know, like, all she's asking for you is some sort of apology and whatever. And that is where we got him apologized and they hugged. And I don't know, anytime for me, when I see like someone has to explain to someone about why an apology is needed or you should apologize, and then if the person decides to, I don't find it genuine because I feel like it's forced. I feel like you were coached or schooled on how or what to say, and you saying it now after you got that coaching or schooling is like you're pretty much just saying it because you're just saying it. You don't really mean it, and it's probably going to come back up again because you didn't necessarily mean it. Someone had to tell you this is what you need to do. So it was to me all over the place in that boat scene. The next scene we got where we saw where Sandoval then started to say that he felt like he was a dog out on the road, like a stray dog or a dog on the street. And now he feels a bit closer because now he feels like people are leaving out food for him. And I'm like, typical what I think Ariana said in a previous episode where this dude is going to wait until everybody is pretty much cool with him. And then he's just going to go right back to his old ways. So he's doing all of this to get sympathy, just to be back into the fold. We saw where Sheena then says that Ariana did not come to her defense regarding the photo. Of course not. And that's where we can see there's going to be some sort of tension with their friendship going into further episodes, because she's starting to call out stuff to say that despite everything going on the internet and person saying this, of course not, Ariana did not come to her defense, but I guess she's the one. Then she started to say that she's getting all of these opportunities. She's happy for her. She wanted to do Dancing with the Stars, and then Ariana got to do it, and she's so genuinely happy for her. And she just started to have a whole meltdown. Lala then says that Ariana needs to pull her head out of her ass and remember who was there for her, because I'm assuming that she's saying that everybody rallied around Ariana. Now that Sheena is in a state, she's expecting the same from Ariana, but Ariana is so up here right now, focused on whatever she's doing, that she has no time to remember the friends or the persons who were around her and helping her. Then Sheena says she's also hurt and that she's hearing that she isn't able to feel anything because it didn't happen to her. So that is something, yes, that persons are saying that it didn't really happen to you. So why are you so triggered, or why are you making this all about you? So, but that was the episode. I'm waiting to see what next week will bring. I'm sure it's going to be another follow-up to what Sheena is going through. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys' thoughts were on the episode. Remember to like, share, and also subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next week as we recap Vanderpump Rules. Bye!